Yes, so it all comes down to this one match against Pakistan.
which we need to win before we can start talking about semi-finals. And I am expecting nothing but a victory from the girls.
At least,
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Raymond and I are here to talk about the upcoming World Cup match between the West Indies and Pakistan. Raymond, how you feel about this matchup?
boy, nervous. And you know why? Because I know this is almost a must-win game for us to see ourselves through to the semi-final. So I can't be nothing but nervous. Slight level of confidence, but nerves, might just get the best of me, and that is how I'm feeling currently.
So it is coming down to the business end of the first round, and this is the sixth match for the West Indies, and they're third in the point standing, but they need to keep winning to advance to the next stage. West Indies, seventh ranked, is playing a team that is ranked below them for the first time in the tournament. Pakistan, who is ranked number eight. Pakistan hasn't won any matches in this ICC Women's World Cup so far, and they're at the bottom of the table. Persons are saying that this might be an easy match for the West Indies, but you can't count Pakistan out any at all. And if we were to look at their head-to-head matchup, um, West Indies and Pakistan in their last five games, West Indies have won three, Pakistan two. So you can see that Pakistan have managed to win against the West Indies. Overall, they've played 12 matches between them. West Indies with a very big advantage, 9 wins to three to Pakistan. Based on recent form, one would give West Indies the edge, Raymond, but you can't count Pakistan out at all.
No, Kurt, you just can't, and I think that almost add to the nervousness of this occasion, because this is a team that they should beat. Just like how we know Bangladesh was a team that they should beat, and they did. But how close was that? That gives us, put a lot of pressure on us, and almost felt like it could have went either way. And because this is another one that is, you felt like it's automatic, you're nervous that this is the one that you fought at. All throughout the tournament so far, you have been surprising us with some good victory and beating some teams that we weren't expecting you to beat. And now it comes down to this, a team that we're expecting you to beat, and then the nerves kick in. On my part only, believe me, I'm hoping it's not so much on the girls, and the girls will just automatically deliver. But on my part, it feels like so close, and so I'm a little nervous.
And if we were to zone in a little on the stats between the two teams, Raymond, West Indies' highest score against Pakistan is 253, and the average score over the five matches, 202. Pakistan average score 170, and the lowest score is by Pakistan 116. Still, just statistics, past records. What does this say about the two teams going up against each other in this match?
So pushing nerves aside, it and the stats you just read out to me, it sounds like West Indies have a good chance of improving their net run rate. That's what it sounds like to me. This sounds like West Indies, if back first, can push into the 200 and pretty much bowl out Pakistan for under 200. So that should basically improve the net run rate. That is what your stats is saying. That is the kind of tournament that West Indies could possibly have. As I said, pushing nerves aside, that is what it's looking like.
And if we were to look at Pakistan performance over this ICC World Cup, They lost to India by a big margin. They lost to Australia. They bat first, and Australia chased down the runs. They lost to South Africa by a big margin. They narrowly lost to Bangladesh by 9 runs. And you can remember Bangladesh celebrating into the West Indies match because this was the first time they're winning the ICC Women's World Cup match, and they did it against Pakistan. Pakistan is still, I suppose, suffering for losing to their neighbors. And in addition to that, they have this match was the 13th, so they have rested coming into this match. West Indies played after that. So the players from Pakistan, I think, are rested and coming in fresh. Having watched the West Indies struggle against Bangladesh, I'm sure one of their strategies to come in with all the spinners to try and win. Them don't want to leave this tournament without winning.
Yeah, Kurt. I can see them coming in with a strategy, and the fact that they are rested might put some pressure on us, given that we have played a really nail-biting match and a finish that saw injury to one of our players. And I just can imagine the emotional roller coaster the girls are having out there, and to play so soon after. So the Pakistan is fresher, and they are going to be playing for pride. So I cannot imagine the level of strategy and approach to the game to actually get a victory out of it. But somehow I think West Indies should be able to try and rebuff the challenge from Pakistan and push it to the highest limit in terms of putting up a serious run and then bowling them out
And uh,
for nothing.
and talking about West Indies putting up some runs, we've talked about this on numerous occasions. They need to bat first, put up some runs, but we're not seeing that happening. Hearing the captain in her post-game interview, she said that this too is a challenge, right? And they need to find a strategy. They need to fix it, and we're seeing it happening every match. A very low score. Playing against Bangladesh and defending 140 was an incredible achievement, but you can't expect to do this in every game, right? Dottin and Matthews have been our main run getters. Campbell to a lesser extent, but Taylor hasn't come to the party. She had a 50 and a 30 in one of the matches, but we've played 5 matches and she's had 3 single-digit scores off that 5.
Yeah, Kurt. We need to put it together, especially for this last match, and score fast and put up some serious runs. And you're right. Taylor pretty much hitting 50 the last time was due to a slow batting, not a very high strike rate, and so one couldn't rely on her for put up runs as quick as possible. I'm wondering if a little tweak into the batting order might actually be in her favor. There are some talks around her not being able to have company at the crease, and that might affect her in terms of her performance. And so, she has to figure out who she would like to partner with. Campbell seems up for it. If it's that person she would like to partner with, then set it up that gets her that level of partnership. If not, then push further up the batting order to get to or to play alongside somebody she thinks. Once they are there, she's able to partner with them. I would not necessarily disturb the Dutton and Matthews opening, but I can see that if one of them goes, you would be sitting and batting amongst somebody who is one of those go getters and somebody that great strike rate.
I hear Taylor, and I can understand the respect that she demands or commands based on her records, and the having bowled and taken 3 wickets in the last match. She is now the first female player to score in excess of 5,000 runs and 150 wickets in ODI cricket, and that's a tremendous achievement. And we kudos to her for all of that. But in this particular World Cup, we're not seeing that batter with that 5,000 plus runs in ODI coming to the fore. We see it in with the Australians and their top batters. We see it in with England team. We see it with even India and New Zealand, South Africa, of course. We can't continue to progress in this World Cup if we don't get the batting right.
Yeah, that's true, Kurt. If we don't get the batting right, we will have problems. It's clear that the bowlers up for the task, and so something as low as 140, they're able to defend with the bowling and the fielding. Even though we had some mistakes in the fielding, some spells and so forth, and drop catch and miss run out opportunities, the pressure that the bowlers put on the opponents are, is big time. You're not seeing that a lot in any team, and for to have our West Indies girls doing that from the bowling standpoint is excellent. But the batting need to give the bowlers a chance, a super fighting chance, and you have to push beyond scores like a 140 and push into the 200, 200 that we're familiar with. And don't forget, the net run rate should be in your minds when playing and batting. And in order for you to get there, it has to be batting first, then bowling, because you can count on the bowlers to put some serious pressure on the opponents.
And I like the way you talk about the net run rate because coming down to the business end of this league format with the teams with the most points advancing to the semifinals, there will be some teams that will end on the same amount of points. And it is crucial that your net run rate is better in order to advance. And right now, West Indies have a negative something, 0.9, a very high negative net run rate that we need to improve. So it is important that we take full advantage of this match and score heavily, bat first, score heavily, and then defend it. Because we know the bowlers can defend a 140. Well, not all the time, but they can defend a 140. So anything in excess of 250 should significantly increase your net run rate.
Yeah, that's correct. It possibly push us in the positive territory if they're able to get them out, way below the 200 when you make a run of 250, 270.
What strategy do we need to use to win and win big against Pakistan?
It has to be batting. Batting has to show up. Taylor, you have to show up. I don't know if you want to tweak the batting order and find yourself coming up further and just be aggressive. After that, I wouldn't necessarily change anything around the bowling end. I'm seeing a lot of players wanting to take on the challenge of taking wickets. I'm seeing everybody putting on the man and being like, I can do it, to the captain and to the coach. So we're not short of heroes from the bowling perspective of getting persons out during any crunch or pressurized time. But the batting is very important. And as such, I would love Taylor to come to the party and add and take some of the pressure off the Dutton and Matthews. And it's good that Campbell did what she did the last game, and if she can be consistent, then we can easily push into that 200 region and beyond.
I hear some persons saying that based on the way the spinners performed in the last match against Bangladesh, that Mohammed should come in for one of the medium pacer, and they're looking at taking out Aline. What do you think about that?
Well, Kirk, yeah, the idea is to actually have a really diversified bowling attack, and the pitches are ruled to accommodate spinners. You'd be almost a fool not to take advantage of it, and you got a glimpse of it in the last game. So why not actually use that? It's a must-win. It's a must-win match, and you want to win by a big margin, and only with the given the pitch that you have, spinners are one of the only persons who would bring a lot of pressure to the opponent and skittle them out for little or nothing.
And of course, Mohammed might get an opportunity to play because Connell was taken off in an ambulance, and we're not sure what's her current condition, and
Right.
we want to wish her all the best and speedy recovery. But it never looked good when it initially happened, she fell, and all the players went around her, and medical team went out there immediately and attended to her. And we saw her walking from one vehicle to the next, so we were celebrating that. But we're not sure her current condition. She upped off in the previous match and then she showed up in this one. So maybe she is a fighter and she will show up again. But if she is not available, I suspect that Mohammed should come in as one of those experienced bowlers. She is one of the legend in bowling in ODI cricket. I think she's like third on the all-time list in terms of wicket takers. So she's definitely, her experience will help in defending any score that West Indies put up.
Yeah, Kurt, it's a fitting game to have her coming. And given what is going on with Connell, it only makes sense that you actually see her coming for her. If Connell decides to fight through it, though, clearly you have to look elsewhere.
Who will be your standout player?
Well, Kurt, I mean, you asked me this, and I was just always feeling that once again, Taylor. It's so easy to say that in Matthews, Campbell. It's a full-on team thing. I realize with the girls, it's a full-on team thing, and it's hard to single out one person. But Taylor, to me, has to show up, and she has to be the standout player in this game. Definitely.
I agree with you, and I think we need to see our class coming through. We haven't seen it yet. A player with 5,000 ODI runs is better than what we're seeing, and we need to see that at least once, maybe continuously after this, in this match and after. But we definitely need to see your star qualities, Taylor. So you're over one, and we're depending on you to deliver that one. Fans out there, we would love to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this particular matchup? West Indies versus Pakistan is always a treat to watch West Indies play Pakistan, and this match promises to be nothing less. What's your thoughts? Who you think we should change? Who should be dropped? Should we tweak the batting? If West Indies win the toss, should they bat first or bowl first? Leave all those comments in the comment section below. And always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Yes, subscribe. Click that red button and subscribe to the channel. Raymond and I signing out. This has been another episode. Tell your friends, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. Be blessed.